Guys, welcome to episode number 1 of my Euro 2020 journey with England. We are in the group with Norway, Scotland and Hungary. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to title this video, to be fair, because this is technically still in the Derby career mode. We're going to actually wrap up the season now, because we didn't get an opportunity to do that in the last episode. We managed to do absolutely fantastically in the last month. If you haven't seen the episode, make sure you go back and watch it now. But as you can see here, we had to get some points from that last game against Arsenal. We managed to do that, win 2-0. We won against Everton with 10 men, and we drew against Man City after being 3-0 down at half-time, then down to 10 men for the last, 30 minutes. We did really well. I really can't complain with how we did to end off this season. It's kind of crazy that we lost against Swansea at home, but then we managed to get points against City and Everton. But I find the bigger teams a lot easier to beat. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because they attack me and then I can counter-attack them. But nevertheless, just looking at where we finished in the table and who got relegated, Chelsea won the league. Liverpool, Man United and Derby getting into the Champions League. Absolutely fantastic. Manchester City, Stoke and Everton, I think all three of those go into the Europa League. And then going down to Villa, Palace and Sunderland. I don't know if it's real, but there seems to be a bit of a glitch in terms of the teams that get promoted 90% of the time get relegated. It's just really frustrating that that's the facts when in real life that just you've got Huddersfield and Brighton in the middle of the table in real life, but on the game, just doesn't seem to quite understand that. Obviously, we've got teams like Stoke, Burnley doing well, but I can't remember who actually went up with Villa and Sunderland. I don't think it was Palace. I think somebody else. We might get a few Palace players. There are a few at that club that might be quite tempting to go for. So looking at our top goal scorers and assisters, looking at the top goal scorer first, it is Tammy Abraham with 19 goals and 32 appearances. His last goal was actually in February. I've just had a look now, and that was 14 games ago. He hasn't scored in 14 games, and he's still pretty much got a contribution per game. There's only 5 game difference. Obviously, he did very well in the Carabao Cup, and then 13 in 29. You really can't complain with that. That's 20 contributions in 29 Premier League appearances. That is absolutely fantastic. A bit of a shame he did drop off in those last 14 games, but Vidra picked it up, basically. Vidra wasn't playing until basically Lawrence came into form. It's kind of crazy how these players, they dip and then they come back and then they dip. And these two were the two contributing at that cam position throughout the season. And Vidra was probably the reason we got Champions League football in the end. That's what you're going to give it to. Chadham's very good as well. I think he definitely improved quite a bit, and that's why I've taken him to Euro 2020 with England. Ciceretti I might be tempted to sell. I feel like, same with Bellarabi, they just didn't contribute enough. I would have liked a lot more from Ciceretti. Only 4 goals in 35 games. It just isn't enough. I think I need a lot more. Obviously, Adams, with 2 fewer appearances, managed to get 16 contributions, whereas Ciceretti only got 9. Charlie Austin, I feel like I can't really judge him. I think 4 in 10 is not bad, but maybe a little bit more would have been nice. Will Hughes with the most appearances, I believe, 43 throughout the season. I actually have a look, and it is Sportiello missing out 2 games. I think they were in. They must have been in the European, the pre-season tournament, pretty much. That's the difference between the 2 players. He did miss a Premier League game, Will Hughes, but yeah, Sportiello every single game, 8 clean sheets. It's all right. I think that's an acceptable goalkeeper level. One option I do have is actually to bring Fontana into the team next season, as he has grown 11 ratings and probably has better stats than Sportiello now. Now, Wisdom, you just look at that there. 7.8 match rating and a overall of 7.6 after 38 games, and 9 clean sheets. If you look at the team of the season, I can actually show you. So overall in the Premier League, looking at the top goal scorers, even though he didn't score in the last 14 games, he was only 3 goals off finishing top, so it would have been nice to actually have done that, but in the end, both Bobby Firmino, Jesus, Eriksen and Hazard getting the top 4. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the bit where it shows the team of the season, obviously because it is the Euros now. A lot of the news has changed. Simon with 10 as well, same as Harry Kane. You look at it that way, you get the same amount of goals, and then there's players like Musa, Pabon and Salah from Burnley, who I don't know who that is, and Brereton with 12 goals, the player that we sold. Clearly doing well at Bournemouth, just wasn't doing well for us. Vidra had 9 as well. It just kind of shows how well balanced the team is in terms of numbers other than Man United, I think we have the most. We've both got 3 players in that top goal scorer sheet. So into the first game of Euro 2020 against Scotland, probably the toughest of the 3. I think there's a few good Scottish career mode gems that grow into absolute beasts, so potentially they'll have a decent team. Obviously it is a rivalry. I will give them their home kit. I really can't wait to see how we do. I haven't actually played with this team yet, and compared to my Derby team, there's players with 90 rated, so I should easily win this game without a shadow of a doubt, but we may struggle a little bit. Here we are then against Scotland. It is actually in the same stadium that we used for Pride Park. Looking at their lineup, they've gone for the same formation. Archer in goal, who is the Millwall goalkeeper, obviously played against Derby last week. Patterson at right back. I remember signing him last year on the Derby career mode, and he was absolutely fantastic. He had like 90 pace and 90 strength. Going to be a bit of a tough rock to get past. Cooper and Hanley in the centre-back positions. That Tierney guy we've actually got on the short list, who's got like an 88 potential on career mode, so potentially he's like 83, maybe 80 rated. Then in the midfield they've got Armstrong and Fulton holding, Fraser on the right, Barry Mackay the Forest man on the left, Gold and Griffiths up front. There's a few players in there that are definitely at least 80 rated because they've got absolutely fantastic potentials, and there's actually quite a bit of pace in that team, so it may be quite difficult for us to get the win that we need in this first game. Rashford with the ball through for Sterling. Great ball through. Hopefully the City man can find the back of the net. He's hit the post, of course. Now into Delhi, looking for the run of Kane. Probably going to cut past the defender, though. Now take the long shot. And it's gone into the back of the net. That's how good these players are, such as Dele Alli and Harry Kane. You can just shoot from a reasonable place, and it will go into the back of the net quite nicely. And we've made it 1-0. First goal in Euro 2020 for the former MK Dons player. It's kind of crazy how they paid 5 million for him, and he's probably worth at least 150, 200 million in today's market. If Van Dijk's going for 75, then surely. There it is, full time against Scotland, a 1-0 victory, just a little bit of magic from Dele Alli. Hopefully, at the time it was working, but Mialgato crashed like minutes after, so here's the goal. If it didn't work, it was quite a nice finish in fairness, just the turn of the man, and managed to get the goal. We did hit the post here with Sterling. Would have probably, let's say that's the semi-final. We need a goal to get to the final. I kind of hope he'd score that. Jordan Archer was actually quite decent for Scotland. Maybe a player we can look at for a backup goalkeeper. I don't know. But that's the good thing about doing this Euro 2020 save. You can see some of the players that do a bit better and scout them for yourself. So into the next game, and then against Hungary, who did lose their first game against Norway. I'm not 100% sure what the scoreline was, but again, we need the points. We need to win as many games as possible to qualify for the next round. We will be using our away kit for this game, and I'll give them their red kit. I'm trying to think of a Hungary player off the top of my head, and I really can't think of one. I don't know if Jujusak is still playing from the Russian league. I will make a couple of changes. I may as well, because they're not exactly the toughest team in the world, and I kind of need to test some of these players that I haven't played with yet. I will put Danny Rose at left back, and maybe a few changes here and there. Let's have a look at this Hungary lineup then. I do remember another player. Is the goalkeeper from Crystal Palace. I just don't want to say his name. I remember playing them recently, but they do actually have Jujusak on the right hand side. There is actually a few players in here that I do recognise actually. Maybe slightly about the same level as Scotland, but they do have Adam Nagy at holding midfield, and I think his brother Dan. I don't know if it's Dan. I've just gone for a D name basically. Hopefully it's Dan. Yeah, there's a handful of players in that team. Their striker's quite decent as well in the Bundesliga. I think he's around 80 rated, so there's a few decent players in there. Hopefully their goalkeeper isn't too good like he is in the Premier League, but we've had to put Ox on the right, Stones and Rose into the defence, just so we get a chance to play with all the players and keep fitness high. Just a run here from Sterling early on. He's gone through the defence, hopefully can find the back of the net this time. The keeper makes a save, and the ball does go loose out. Kane nicking the ball here, inside to Wilshere, cross to Henderson. Does have the ability to take a long shot. I will give it a go. And there we go. Great start to the game. Sterling going on the attack, just pressing them forwards. And it is the captain, Henderson, to find the back of the net and to make it 1-0. Now, in an ideal world, I wouldn't be playing Jordan Henderson, but he's that kind of player that I need in the team. Is that rock that will just sit there, make sure we don't concede too many goals, and occasionally do an absolute beautiful long shot like that. That really, not much the keeper can do, and it's a great start to the game. Like, especially like teams like this who are just going to park the bus. We need to get these early goals to make sure we get the points. There it is, full time against Hungary, another 1-0 win in Euro 2020. I found the game very difficult. For some reason, even though they were 1-0 down from very early on, they very much made it part of the bus. We did get a couple of other goals, but unfortunately they were offside, of course. But as you can see there, very few chances from Hungary. I wouldn't say there was anything clear-cut. Just looking at a couple of right-backs here, suggestion from you guys of Trippier. I'm not 100% sure if he's only just moved to Liverpool, but I feel like Gomez would maybe be the better choice. He hasn't got the best standing tackling, but 95 pace. Not the strongest as well. It's just whether, like, I can't really justify replacing Wisdom. That's the only thing. But nevertheless, into our last group stage game of Euro 2020. I think it goes straight to the quarters. So I think we'll do the quarters as well in this episode, and then leave the semi and the final, if we do get there, of course, for the next episode. So we are going to have to make a couple of changes, and we do actually need to win this game to finish top of the table. I will put in Will Hughes in the midfield. I think he's just as good as Jack Wilshere. And on the right hand side, I don't know what I can do, because we haven't got the best of stamina, but I think we've got a bit of a break after this game. Into the final group stage game then of Euro 2020. Norway have somehow won both of their games as well. They've beaten Scotland and Hungary. They have got a very good team indeed. I remembered one player, especially when I loaded the game, but they have got Svensson, Gabrielsen, Vasilik and Alasami at left back, Nyland in goal. Ødegaard, who's probably like 82, maybe even 85 rated by now. Obviously very good rating at Real Madrid. Tronson and Selnas, I think. El Yanusi on the left, very good player as well. Joshua King and Omojuanfo. That guy. Anyway, 4-4-2. Bit of a different thing, of course. See how we do against our 4-2-3-1. Oh, this is pinging around a bit. It's into Joshua King with the shot. It's been blocked straight back to him. And in the back of the net, Norway have made it 1-0 there in the first 33 minutes. It just pinged around there, coming off, I think, Eric Dyer. And then just blocks the shot, Keane, but goes straight back to the Bournemouth man. And he finds the back of the net to make it 1-0. Not the start we were looking for against the team we need to win against. We need 2 goals now to win this game. Just looking for the run of Adams. Hopefully finds it into him, and he does. With the shot, saved by the keeper, but rebounds straight to Dele Alli, and it's in the back of the net. Now, to get this goal, I've actually lobbed the kitchen sink, quite literally, at Norway. We're playing a 3-2-3-2. Is that right? 3-2-3... Yeah, 3-2-3-2. Don't know why nobody's ever played this formation. I'm going to actually chuck... what can we do? And there it is, full time against Norway. 1-1 in the end. I think it will mean we finish second in the group and not top. They were very good defensively. Their goalkeeper making a handful of saves and keeping them in it for sure. Maybe they got a bit lucky. 2 shots on target, 1 goal. But that's football at times. So we are ending the season here. We are second in the table in the Euros. Obviously just missing out on that top position. Obviously we need to advance this bit and then get back into the Euros to get to the quarters. There we go. After about 15 minutes of waiting, it's finally gone on to the next season. So, we have an objective shirt sales. I'll probably look at these when we go back to the Derby career mode, but just looking at the transfer budget we do have, 37 million, call it 38, and 100k in wages. And we've got potentially a chance to sell some players. They want us to reach the quarterfinal of the Champions Cup. Okay, anyway, let's get back to England, as that's what we're doing at the moment. If we obviously get some bids in for players, I will have a look at those. I will leave the training sessions just for now while we're still with England. Pre-season tournament then, obviously the more money the merrier, so I will accept them, but it's like, especially when you're like a top 4 team, like 8 million really isn't too much. I know it's a nice amount of money to have, but as you can see in the quarterfinals we have got Netherlands. Just looking at who we've got for our first Premier League game of the season, it is Nottingham Forest. It couldn't have been written more if you tried. I don't know if this game could be more scripted, but Nottingham Forest have been promoted to the Premier League. That is mental. We do have I think this is a qualifying. We may have to win both those games against Rangers, which we should be able to do. But it's kind of crazy how Forest are the team to go up from the Championship with West Brom and Huddersfield. I think they're the two other Championship teams to get promoted. But it's annoying that Forest got promoted. That's really annoying. So looking at the teams in the quarterfinals, it's quite a winnable tournament. Just a little bit anyway. On the right-hand side, you've got all the big dogs. And on the left-hand side, you've got Denmark, Norway, Finland and Slovenia or Slovakia. One of the two anyway. Finland are in the semis with Denmark. We are against Netherlands. Now, I don't know if we win, like, in my head, we play Belgium or Germany next. But in the world of FIFA, we could be playing potentially Denmark or Finland. It would be amazing if it was Finland, but more than likely, it's going to be one of the two of Germany or Belgium. So it is the tougher side to get there. But the problem is, if that is the case, we'll get to the final and we'll be playing Finland or Denmark, which doesn't feel like a final. You'd want Germany or Belgium in the final, but only potentially one of the teams on the right are going to be there. So into the game against Netherlands, we will finish off the episode with this game. Obviously, depending on if we can win or not, we will be in the final. I think we'll use our blue kit just for a bit of contrast. We have got a fully fit team, so that's good to see. Here we are then against Netherlands. It'll be interesting to see what their team is. Obviously, a very good youngsters. Sillerson in goal, Korbstorp at right back, De Vries, Van Dijk, Congolo, Strootman, Velihina, Klaassen, Depay, Bastos, and Quincy Promes. Obviously, both those wingers are going to be ridiculously fast and strong. Very good midfield as well. It's a very good team. Bastos up front a bit debatable, but still like 83, 84 rated. Oh, Butland saves. Rebound straight to Van Dijk, and it's in the back of the net to make it 1-0. The £75 million man. But when you pay that much, you probably do expect that much. We're going to have to win this game somehow. Well, at least get it to extra time. Ball goes into the box. Saved by Butland again. Rebounded straight to Netherlands, and they are through to the semis. We're going to be going out here at the quarters. Just literally straight away. Like, again, another rebound off Butland. He could have really saved that as well. He was close, but it's just really frustrating because you look at how many chances both the teams have had, and it's probably deserved. There's a great chance to get a goal here, but I don't know if we have time to get the second goal. We've got one. Can we do it? We've got literally a minute and 10 seconds. Plus added time, which is like 30 seconds. 3 minutes of added time. We need to pretty much score with this attack. And we're through Adams. Can we score? Please, Che. I just don't know this game. What are we doing? Oh my god. I thought game over. Game over when it was 2-0 down. No. Back to 2-2 somehow. This is mental. I have honestly, like, this year's FIFA, some of the things that have happened are just a little bit mental. He almost saved it as well, Sillerson. He did get a hand to it, but luckily the Derby man does get his first goal in the Euros. I just don't know. I need to breathe. Now into Adams. Can he get through? He's got the pace. Can he get the finish? He's done it. He's done it. Che Adams, the England and Derby man, has found the back of the net in the 100th minute to make it 3-2 and to bring the comeback. Just mental. I might drop him for the semis if we get there, of course. But Harry Kane hasn't scored in 4 games now, and Che Adams has got 2. Obviously, just in this game, but he's got more goals than Kane. Chance here for Netherlands. That's a ridiculous volley from Memphis. It's almost like the sliders of momentum have just swung it in Netherlands' way there to get a goal. I don't know what I could do with that. What could I do to defend this here? I closed him down, and then a volley and a goal. Like, maybe the keeper could have done a bit better. I don't know, but maybe Depay's an option we could have at Derby instead of Bellarabi. There's half time then, 3-3 at the moment. This game is a little bit mental. I just don't know what I can do, because I don't really want to go to penalties, but it may be what we have to, like, after being 2-0 down, like a minute left of the game. I'll take penalties, but I would kind of like to win the game in normal time. Into Ox. Can he get the goal? Yes, he can. just don't know this game. I've literally just... it's just mental. I might put Ox and Adams in the semis because they've definitely had an impact in this game. Nice ball out wide. And then somehow the keeper's been beaten at his near post. Don't know how, but second goal for him in this game. Is that, yeah, that's it. The ref barely blew his whistle then. Anyway, that is hectic. I just don't know what to say about that game. Mental. 7 goals and we're through to the semis. So Fiorentina only want to pay 13.9 million. But we do have a transfer offer here from Che Adams from Leverkusen. I'm going to reject it straight away just because I think he's a little bit too good. That price tag though, Jesus Christ. He's worth up to 42 million now. And they're offering 16. It is his value in fairness, but like I'm going to reject it because he might be worth 100. Like in real life, that's the thing. I think they do need to think about the valuation on FIFA a bit more. Because players can go from like 10 to 100 mil. Like Dele Alli, worth 5 mil when they bought him, and now he's worth probably 200 million. Anyway, Belgium next in the semis. We will save that for the next episode. We are obviously in the summer transfer window, so if you guys want to suggest any signings, we have got 38 million to spend. The main players that you guys suggested before, I think in the finale, were right backs. I think we've got a couple here in Christie if we want a backup, Cedric if we want to improve, same with Gomez, and Trippier. But I don't know if we can... No, he's literally just joined Liverpool, so I can't sign Trippier, unfortunately. He's literally just joined Liverpool. I don't think I would have paid 13 million as well for a right back. So we'll leave him there. Also, we've got Dominic Fiora, who is worth 7, but he's got a 3.9 release clause. Personally, I think this would be the best of the 4. Yeah, because he's very similar-ish to Wisdom in terms of he's got that physicality to him. He's got very good strength, of course, and then he's got pace. So I'd go for a 4 because he's dirt cheap as well. Ridiculously cheap, in fairness. 3.9. You're saving yourself 3.1 million on his value. So I might be tempted just to do that now, to be honest. But we'll leave it for the next episode. Let me know what you guys want me to do. We are through to the semis of Euro 2020, and the final is probably going to be between Finland or Denmark. I would obviously prefer Denmark, a little bit more of a competitive team. But I don't know what to say after that last game against Netherlands was mental. Literally, I just thought, game over when it's at 2-0. How did we bring it back? I don't know. But anyway, hopefully you guys did enjoy this little bit of a different video. Obviously, it's still the Derby Crow mode, but... we're with England at the moment, so yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. Here's the team just so you know what we actually... I'm probably going to list up Bellarabi, he just wasn't good enough. Same with Ciceretti, maybe Austin as well, just because of his age. And yeah, I think we'll go from there and see what we can do. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. Leave a like if you did enjoy, and see you soon. Bye.